Hey Mohit, thanks for joining Halo Labs today. I really do appreciate your time.
Very nice. Thank you. Thanks, Eager. Looking forward to the opportunity to connect and see how much I can add to the system, I would say.
Yeah, most definitely. Again, so tell me about what's it like doing insurance in Canada because um, I'm in the U.S., so I don't know how things are different there. So let's talk about how things go in Canada.
So, I would say Canada always likes to do things US way. So,
Okay.
this is one of the things which is done slightly differently. Unlike most of the things, we do follow a lot of UK system when it comes to insurance, especially when it comes to verbiage and stuff like that. It's a combination of UK insurance world and US insurance world on a high level, I would say like that. Certain the important aspects which are unique to Canadian system are that workman compensation in all the provinces in Canada is driven by government, which is one of the major contributors of insurance sectors in USA. That does not exist here in Canada because that's government driven. Another major difference is health insurance. So we don't, again, we have most major chunk of the health insurance cost is funded by government programs like the universal healthcare. So the hospitalization cost of health insurance is covered by the universal healthcare. So we don't have the health insurance which USA has, which is mostly corporate funded or government funded in most cases. So that is not there. So considering like for the same size of basket of risks, our premiums are relatively lesser because of health insurance and workman compensation. I would not say a complete health insurance. We do have accessory health insurance like dental, eye care, vision, all those necessary things, but hospitalization insurance, I would say, that which is a major cost, and workman compensation is not there. So that's fundamentally the major difference here. Now, apart from that, most of the things are same in US as well. Certain insurance policies are driven by state laws, and that's exactly same here in Canada as well. A lot of it is state driven, and yeah, more or less the verbiage wordings is similar for
Very
rest of
good.
the.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that because I didn't know the major differences. But yeah, so on that note, what got you into that? Who is Mohit? Where do you come from? How did you get into this? What made you want to do it? What makes this exciting for you? And I was looking on LinkedIn, so it's about 7 years now. You founded this and got it going. So tell me that story. How did that originate? What sparked that for you?
So when you would see that most of the insurance professionals would say that I fell into it,
Yeah,
and
it's the common
yeah,
denominator.
exactly, exactly. Fortunately, it's not like that for me. I chose it. So some people
Okay.
choose bad things, right? No,
Okay.
just kidding. So I chose it. I'm a computer science engineer by my initial undergraduate level education. After which I got an opportunity to work with a IT company where I was exposed to insurance, and that's how I found my passion. And once I found that I was not good at coding. I was no good at that. So I thought like, well, let's have domain knowledge. And that's how I did my MBA in insurance. And since then, I'm a broker. That's all I have been. Like I started with a very niche broking firm called Alliance Insurance Broker based out of Mumbai in India. They used to do sports media, TV, a lot of manuscript wordings, lots of Lloyd's stuff. And from there, I went to Marsh, worked in various departments at Marsh. Was fortunate to have an opportunity to move to Canada. When I moved to Canada, I started working with a relatively smaller but more entrepreneurial broker called Excel Insurance Group. I started in a semi-tech job there, converted that to becoming a producer, then a partner there in a very short time, and then branched out from that company to start Mango Insurance. And started with a very small, humble book of $2 million in premium, and this year we should be 60 million plus with a team of more than 50 people.
That's amazing. Good work. Can I ask, how did you come up with the name Mango Insurance? Because I love it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So One thing was that I did not want to keep it like my last name insurance. No, like most companies do. So one that was one factor. But the reason behind Mango Insurance was that uh, the first requirement for a name for insurance was something which has a very high recall value. So I wanted to have a name which had a very high recall value because most of our business comes through referrals. Like if you remember something, you refer that, right? So the initial broader criteria was to have a name with high recall value. And then most of the names in insurance sector were related to risk and promise and doing well, and they were extremely generic. So I thought like, well, we should put something unique which is having a high recall value. So Mango came to me as a Mango came in mind. And then a lot of our clientele originally when we started was of South Asian descent in Canada, and it's a very prominent fruit there. It's called as king of fruit. So that came immediately came to my mind that that name would have a high recall value. But then we wanted
Smart.
like, well, when I thought more about that name, I thought that, well, if I give G a little bit different color in that mango, then I can split it and call it man go, and it's not like about men or women, but generally speaking, like man go for it kind of. So it
That's
had all
awesome.
that commonality, and then all these things were coming together. So I thought like, well, it might be a good name, and yeah, that's how it's Mango.
That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. I love it. So starting out, what were some of the big challenges up, at first? Because you mentioned that were you already working and getting experience before finishing your MBA, I
Yes,
believe it
yes,
was?
yes. So major, absolutely. So I was always working as an insurance broker, like I in Alliance and Marsh, and then in Excel I started as a producer and became a partner. So I was always an insurance broker, but to start afresh, uh, so unlike a lot of other markets, Canadian market is a little bit unique. Uh, if you think about an insurance broker is supposed to represent a customer, and the insurance broker is supposed to shop around for that customer and buy the best possible coverage at best possible price from various insurance companies. Now in Canada, not every broker can do that, because every broker does not have right to buy insurance from every insurance company. It's a
Oh,
closed market. So
okay.
a broker needs to have contracts with various insurance companies in order to buy products for their customers from these insurance companies. So it's not an open market where if you are a broker, you can buy from whichever insurance company you want to. You have to individually contract with every single insurance company in order to be able to buy good insurance for your customer. And insurance companies want a lot of things for getting you a contract, and one would be a good reputation, another would be consistent volumes, and then certainly the knowledge about the market and risk and a lot of things. So that was the first challenge, that was the first barrier, because it's a catch 22 situation, right? Like it's a egg and a hen problem, like what comes first, the volumes and the reputation and the commitment, or the contract in itself. So I was able to overcome that with the help of IGN Group and Excel Insurance Group. That they had those initial contracts, and that's how we got our ways in. And from there, we have been maintaining great relationships with insurance companies and maintaining those contracts. So yeah, that was a primary challenge when it comes to starting broking.
Great. So then, as you learn and move forward, what do you think were maybe, reflecting back on that, were there any mistakes that you could maybe give us advice, like to avoid, or things that were pivotal moments where you're like, ah, okay, maybe we should have done something differently that then changed the direction that you wanted to go?
Absolutely, there are always lots of learning in any journey. What we could have done differently was we like initially when we started, we never we started in an online model. Like we the initial few years of the growth was a little bit restricted because we started online, and we started gaining traction slowly. We were not having multiple channels of sale. We were having a couple of channels of sales, and then later we learned that, well, all these channels are working, but then we should be open to all channels of sales. So then we started with we kept going online. We started direct cold calling. We started strategic partnerships, and we today have every single avenue of sales possible in broking, which we started, I would say, in 2021, 2022. So that's a big learning. And second was that we were a little bit late in making relationships with insurance companies. Like we were dependent on making relationships with insurance companies on whichever group we worked with, like Excel and IGN and everywhere. So we did not make direct relationship with senior management of insurance companies in our initial days, which I would recommend that one should start doing from day one.
That so would that be your piece of advice that you would give your earlier self?
100%. Like I would say that relationships with insurance companies are key to success when it comes to insurance broking, and one should be all out in the community and in the networking events, and not lose any possibility to make those relationships.
Very good. Very good. So, in your opinion, how would you say that insurance is evolving in Canada?
So, insurance in Canada. So, Canada, if you look about like from a global perspective, Canada is a relatively small market. Like it's a relatively small insurance market. However, what makes Canada unique is that we are relatively higher risk than the rest of the world because of the weather we have and the roads we have. Like simple, like any auto insurance in Canada is quite expensive because of the winter seasons which we have, black ice and whatnot, right? And then we have fires, we have hail, we have all sorts of things which are not there in many parts of the world. So relatively our share, like if you consider the cost of risk, then our cost of risk is a little bit more, like cost of insuring it is a little bit more. So that makes Canada a little bit unique. From a size perspective, Canada is a relatively smaller market. Like if you see south of the border, there are so many large, huge insurance companies for whom the whole Canadian insurance market is less than 20% of their individual book size. Like there are insurance companies, if they buy all of insurance companies in Canada, they that would still be 20% of their. That's how small Canada is. Uh, one that I would be taking my chances in saying that we don't have as many A players in Canada as you have south of the border. Like the best of the underwriters, the best of the CEOs, the best of the claims people would tend to work in south of the border. So they naturally attract that kind of talent. So we lack a little bit when it comes to innovation in Canadian markets, and then we'll end up using products which are made for US. Like most of our insurance companies and broking firms are running on the technology stack which was built for US. So that's one challenge for us, which the industry would only overcome with size, and that's something which is probably putting us a little bit backwards. Most of the insurance companies in Canada are Canadian insurance companies, which is the good side of it, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, are you finding that there is market saturation in terms of competition for you, or do you think that it's
Oh,
like on par?
there's lots of consolidation which happened in last decade when it even comes to brokers or insurance companies. Lots and lots of consolidation happens. Like we can literally, where we are in Alberta and Ontario, when I started in 2016 in Canada, there were like when we used to go to broker events, we always used to meet new brokers. We always used to get names of new companies. Now we can literally count the independent insurance brokers on fingers. Like there are so
Wow.
few left. Like huge consolidation has happened, and most of the independent brokers have sold their shops. When it comes to insurance companies as well, there has been big time consolidation. Like Intact bought RSA, Desjardins bought State Farm. So these were like a few of the top 10 insurance companies which were taken over. Recently, there was another acquisition done by Economical. So there's been lots and lots of consolidation which has happened. And when consolidation, what happens with consolidation is that the specialty which those insurance companies had or those brokers had more or less dies within the time because the entrepreneur behind that specialty leaves, right? So there's scope of a lot of new players in the industry, and niche products are required to be delivered. And all those things which I'm talking about are all already available south of the border. So there are lots and lots of specialty product niche programs available, and innovation is happening in this market, I would say, but not at the same pace as the rest of.
Do you think you mentioned innovation? Do you think that that's being driven by client expectations or by available technology? Or do you find that maybe it's a mix of both? Like does one push the other?
It's a mix of both, I would say. The client expectation is certainly high, like when because the client is no, when you think about a customer, client is consuming a lot of global products as well, right? Like I'm watching Netflix, you're watching Amazon Prime, and the kind of service which is delivered there, or even when it comes to banking services, a global level of services being delivered there. When it comes to insurance, on the other hand, like it still in Canada requires, like if you have one house and two automobiles, and if you want a insurance quote through a broker, it would take 15 to 20 minutes for you to get a, tentative quote. In certain countries, you could put your license plate and your license number, just scan it, don't even put it, like take a picture of it, scan it, and then probably in like a minute or less, you can get a quote. You can literally quote, bind, and issue an insurance policy in many parts of the world today in less than 5 minutes. Where in our country we are still correcting data for 20 minutes. So that's how far behind we are. And customer has those expectation, that expectation, right? Like if I can do that in US, why can I not do that in Canada, right? So and that's the issue. A lot of privacy related laws. There's not that enough push from the regulator or the government to deliver products faster and in easier way. So yeah, I would say that Canadian insurance industry is lagging behind significantly when it comes to simple products like home and auto insurance.
Do you find that, and I don't know if this is true or not, do you have to use tools that are provided by the government? Or if, let's say, there was something you wanted to make for yourself, could you use that?
So, for unfortunately, no, there's no government intervention in the
Okay.
products per se. There's no issue there. They are doing decent there. When it comes to delivery of the product, insurance companies, there are various insurance companies with their own set of rules in order to code bind issue policy, and the data which is required is not easily collectible by the insurance companies. So there's no central repository of data which is made available by government for insurance companies to access. Like it's if I like if an insurance company has a plate, it's very difficult for an insurance company to real time find out the owners and the drivers of that plate. So there's no central data repository which is available in other markets. Like there's no unique identifier which could be connected to all these things where the data repository could be there. So government can do something to empower insurance companies there, but then again there's privacy and laws related to that where people that data bank doesn't exist.
Interesting.
Yeah, which does exist in
And you
certain
said that
other.
there could be specific laws that are preventing that from existing, essentially. That's
Exactly,
difficult.
exactly, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how does that drive or change, your 3, 5, 10 year plan? I mean, what do you see for the future for you
Well, you have
guys?
to you have to play the game by the rules of game, right? So
Yeah.
even if so, we are playing in Canadian market. It's a level playing field for everybody. The challenges for everybody are the same. Of course, the cost of insurance to the end customer is relatively higher in Canada because of the cost of doing business. Like the cost of operations is really high because of these things. Like, of course, a broker needs to be remunerated to the level of the work required, and a lot of work is required right now. So that is driving the cost of insurance higher than it should be. Uh, but that being said, it's same for everybody else. So doesn't change our 3, 5, 10 years plan. What we are doing on our end, whatever little bit we can do is on the sectors which are not heavily regulated, like our transportation sector, we are using a lot of new technology which is available. So there's a lot of there are a lot of telematic providers which are using artificial intelligence for analysis of the risk using cameras and sensors on the truck. So we at Mango Insurance, we have connected with 150 such telematics providers in order to gain that data, and we are using that data to underwrite and do better pricing for the risk, and bring more competitive products for the customer. Eventually, when it comes to any kind of insurance, like fast forward 20 25 years, insurance would become a pay per use kind of a commodity, and it would not be a fixed price kind of commodity. And these are all small little steps to reach to that pay per use kind of state. And we are doing our fair bit of contribution when it comes to moving.
Interesting. Yeah, pay-per use. I didn't even think of that. It's a good point. So for you guys, let's say hypothetically you guys doubled overnight. What would be something that would be difficult for you to scale or catch up with in order to stay operational?
In Canada, human capital, I would say. So what has
Okay.
happened is that Canada had their when it comes to immigration, Canada had its tap open for immigration for last 1 decade, and a lot of unskilled people came in here, which unskilled labor and or semi-skilled labor, which the country did not actually want, and that led to a lot of people on temporary work permits or temporary visas, which who never went back. They stayed here on various grounds of either humanitarian ground, refugees, or got some kind of work which was not super skilled. And because of that, government had to take steps in order to backstep a little bit and completely stop immigration. So right now, since last 8 or 9 months, it's extremely difficult even to get genuinely high skilled labor to Canada, and all the industries which require highly skilled employees are facing the heat of not having that. We are no different to that. So we developed a lot of talent outside of India, because again, insurance education is not something which is prominently delivered here in Canada. You would not see even one single university program which is giving undergraduate or a postgraduate or a PhD degree in insurance or risk management in all of Alberta, not just in Calgary. But so we don't have talent which is in-house cultivated here. So we have to get talent from outside, and because we cannot get them anymore, because even if however genuine you are, they would most likely reject people. So if we grow 2x next year, we won't be able to service our customers as good as we would have serviced with those people. However, we are what we have done is that we are investing heavily in technology in order to overcome that service gap which is coming because of lack of employees. But again, as I said, how much ever AI or how much ever automation you do, it's you cannot replace the human factor when it especially comes to insurance, because it's something which is driven by trust and convenience and simplicity.
So potentially there are tools that you could design or buy that could make your people more efficient, essentially.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. So they are AI agents, they are tools, they are self-service serving tools where customers can do a lot of things themselves. So there are certainly tools are there, but again, the human element, as I said, is really important when it comes to insurance.
Yeah. So with your engineering background and your knowledge on how these tools integrate, are there any ones that you like or don't like, or are there any ones that you're curious about?
I would be sued if I speak about the tools which I don't like. There are a lot of, but I would give you a
We like
hint.
them all. We like them all.
Yeah. But I would give you, and there are a lot of broker management or agency management systems which are developed in US, and Canadian insurance brokers, and similarly policy administrations which are developed in US, and Canadian insurance brokers and insurance companies have little choice but to use them until something which is developed in Canada comes up. So those tools are pulling us back, I would say, as an industry. So we don't like that. However, there are many great tools like there are some Canadian companies which are doing a really good job when it comes to bringing technology. So there are lots of telematics providers, lots of Trufla being one. Trufla is one of the companies which is doing some good work when it comes to personal lines, and there are certain insurance companies which are also doing great work, like Intact Insurance is coming up with telematics driven programs for both personal lines and commercial lines when it comes to auto insurance. Some insurance companies are really thinking forward and taking steps to change the game. So yeah, I would say
Are
Trufla,
there
Intact, all
any
these.
are there any ones that you feel could be better?
Again, like being a broker, it's
It's
difficult
hard
to
to
answer
say.
those questions.
That's all right.
But there are companies which are so any company which does not have a self-serve portal for personal lines, for home and auto insurance and commercial auto insurance is certainly doing bad, right? I won't name them, but if the company does not have a self-serve portal for all these things, then
They're really behind, right?
they're really behind. Like imagine a bank without having an online platform.
Yeah,
That's what those
it's not going
companies
to
are.
be a bank for very long.
Exactly, exactly. But those companies are surviving because of various reasons. So yeah, all those companies are they should think about it, and it's not today. Like this should have come 2 decades back, right? Like online self-serve portal. When banks released it, insurance companies should have released it as well for all the simple products possible. And any insurance broker which cannot deliver an online insurance certificate real time 24/7 or cannot do a policy change online 24/7 is lagging behind. Any insurance broker which does not have anything which is AI driven, which comes to when it comes to servicing, is lagging behind because like AI came 2 years back, right? So
So
yeah.
you touched on skilled work and whatnot, and the effectiveness of your teams. How do you approach building your team? Like how are you fostering their growth? What are their expectations that you may or may not set? How does that work for you guys?
So we have a concept called Mango University, and we have to train people from scratch. What we have done is that we have created 50 different training modules for people on which they are trained and tested, and gradually, like when they join us new as well as when they move from one department to another, they have to go through all those trainings, and then every single person when they hit the floor and start working they go through an internship program of 6 months in order to finally start delivering or talking to the customer. So technically, we have to develop our own people. There's nothing called as people who are available in the market. There are no account managers who are available to hire. There are no account executives which are available to hire. By no, I mean like very few, and those people are available at unreasonable costs. So it's rather efficient to find new people and train them, and that's what we have been doing. A lot of people who are at Mango are like having their first insurance job here, and then they have been trained here and grow here. But simultaneously, as I say, like you have to bring in entry level people, but you have to nurture and take care and ensure that they are trained well. You have to have experienced people as well. So it's a combination of hiring experienced people and new people and training them. I would say like this, we create brokers, we don't hire them.
That makes sense. So is there a specific quality that you feel you've identified or that you look for in a new person more so than a
100%.
different quality?
100%, 100%. So what we have been we have been working on this finding and matching. So what we did is we did reverse engineering, and then we said that okay, these are the people who are successful in our company, and then we reverse engineer the qualities which those people possessed, and then we started finding those qualities in we started trying to find or discover those qualities in people who joined us. And of course, that's not knowledge because knowledge can be like delivered or trained. Uh, Certain qualities which were there was like high level of IQ or aptitude. People with high aptitude are usually able to catch up insurance because insurance is again lots of numbers, probabilities, permutation, combinations, and if you are having good IQ, you are able to do it very well. Second, a lot of people whom we find successful in our industry are extroverts. So people who are because insurance is more or less it's a it's a push product. Like it's not like people are running around and coming to you to say that I want insurance today. So you have to kind of go there, explain them, and push the product a little bit. And people who are extroverts are able to push it a little bit well. There are certain roles in which even introverts do really well. But when it comes to, we are a sales channel for an insurance company, or we are a personal shopper for a customer, right? So we have to, extroversion was one of the qualities which made people successful. And the third was likability and trust. Like if a person had a personality of being liked by most people, like a simple question was like, okay, how many friends did you have when you went to your school, kind of thing, right? So if somebody's saying like, well, I had like 10 friends, and with whom I used to go on their birthdays or their events or wish them. So that's a person who would be most likely successful. So we do certain aptitude test, and then we have certain we have a personality test which gives us an alignment to what kind of personality that person has, which would tend them to make successful here. So there are two aspects. One is a hard IQ test, and then there is a personality test which we have, and looking at those results, we decide who would be good for what position.
That's cool. That's really
Yeah.
great, mixing those two together to find the right people. Excellent. So then, what what advice would you give to somebody who wanted to start commercial insurance today, in Canada or in general even? What kind of advice
Yeah,
would you?
yeah. So I would, of course, I would recommend to start in a smaller shop where you get to try your hand in everything. It's very important if you long term intend to become an entrepreneur. You should know everything which is happening in the company, right? And it's very difficult to know everything which is happening in a company when you work in a larger. So starting from the time where when the door is opened in the office to the time when janitor comes and fills the coffee box, to how an accounting department, a finance team, an HR team, an IT team, a production team, a service team is run, how branding is done, how a new office is taken, how a lease is done. If you want to learn all these things slowly, the only way to learn all these things is working in a small company. And by small company, I don't mean that go join a shop with three people where you would not have job security. But I would say like working in a company with 20 to 50 people is a place where you get to learn a lot in the initial stage of your career. And once you're confident enough that you know a fair bit of things, always like look forward to take some credentials like education credentials, because those are the things which are valued by people who don't know you, right? Like if I don't know you, I would usually go by your credentials. Like, okay, he's having a particular designation or a title or a particular certification in the industry. So keep doing that, and then find your passion and go for it, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the
as
hard
far
thing
as,
these days, finding your
yeah,
passion.
it is like it is. When was it not hard? Like, tell me, like
Oh, you're right.
when
You're right.
exactly, right? I would say that. When I look at my kids, I think that finding passion has become relatively easier because they can try more things now than we were able to try nowadays. Like the access to training to various things is relatively easier now. Like if you want to learn something, like imagine this: if you want to learn making pasta, real pasta,
Yeah,
I've seen
Italian with
movies
your
in which people
hands.
used to literally travel to Italy to get trained on making real pasta. But if you think about it now, with technology coming up, there are earlier there used to be YouTube videos on how to make pasta. There are now AI tools which would be like literally somebody standing next to you and telling you step by step, like do this and do that in order to make the best pasta, right? So you
Yeah,
don't have to travel to Italy anymore. So and education and training has taken a different stage altogether. Like you can get personalized training in whichever hobby or stream or education you want, right? Like people say you don't need any university anymore.
yeah, most definitely. So what? Excuse me. So what would you say has been, or maybe has there been a book or an experience or something that really influenced you to keep pushing forward to keep doing this?
So what drives me is only one thing, that I was an employee and I was working for these big firms for a very long time. And the only thing, obviously, I was financially, it's no different. Like like again, that's my personal belief that after you reach a certain financial level in your life, nothing changes exponentially. Like once you have a certain amount of money, you won't change. I don't think so that a person who is making $100,000 in Canada a year is living significantly different life than somebody who is making $250,000 a year. Probably though they're living in a little bit different size of a house, their cars are a little bit different, but more or less they are eating same kind of food and sleeping on same kind of mattress and living more or less same life. Financially, keeping finance aside, what motivates is the number of lives you can really impact and change. And it's again like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Like, I would not say self actualization, but having the power to empower people and change lives is what drives me when it comes to becoming an entrepreneur here. At Mango Insurance, we made seven new partners, seven new entrepreneurs. So we are a partnership kind of a firm where, unlike most other firms where people are just employees, here, every single employee has an opportunity to become a partner in the company and own 50% of their book of business. That is their list of clients. In last 4 years, we made seven partners here in Mango Insurance, and the I would have never been able to make seven entrepreneurs had I been working as an employee in any company, right? So
Right.
that's what drives me.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's lasting effects, generational. Very good.
absolutely, absolutely.
Excellent. That's amazing. Huh. So then, what are anything exciting coming up on the horizon? Any big plans, new projects?
Oh yeah, we are coming up with. If you would have gone through my LinkedIn page, I did a promise in quarter three that in Q1 of 2026 we would be doing something which would have been never been achieved by any Canadian insurance broker, and that is something which is coming up. I cannot disclose much now, but we are going to reach a feat which is not achieved, not from numbers perspective. Many brokers have done huge numbers and growth and profitability, which we are again like we are amongst the top 10 when it comes to growth and profitability and everything organic. We are there, but we are achieving something from operational excellence and technology perspective, which no one has achieved so far in Canadian market, and that is something which would be announced in Q1. So
I look
take
forward to seeing that.
yeah,
Yeah, congratulations.
lots
Early
of things.
congrats.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed at this point, I
Yeah.
would. Yeah.
Yeah. So where can our listeners, find Mango Insurance and connect with you?
Um, well, we are physically located in Calgary, Edmonton, and Mississauga, and uh, we are always approachable. Like we are the ones reaching out to listeners, right? Like we are looking forward to work with people. We are looking forward to opportunities to help them secure good insurance products, and we are always open. We are always open to be reached out. And we are also looking for people who want to make their career in insurance. Like I'm not looking for customers from the podcast. More, I'm looking for people who could get influenced, and if they want to build a career in insurance, this is the kind of shop you want to work for. Like this is a small shop where where you have the freedom to do whatever you want to do. You want to do this, and 6 months down the line you want to change, and you find that well, I want to try my hand in this thing. This is a place where you can do that. Like in large companies, you don't have that freedom.
It's great. Awesome. Well, Mohit, I really do appreciate your time. Thank you so
Thank
much for sharing your knowledge.
thank you.
Awesome.